To explain how we ended up here, let's rewind for a second. We're currently on a trip through Costa Rica and Colombia, and in our last video we arrived in Costa Rica and explored the nature Disneyland that is Monteverde. We're now making our way to La Fortuna, which is known as a paradise for people who like hanging bridges, chocolate and adventure activities such as rafting.
Oh god, potholes. Today we're driving from Monteverde to La Fortuna, our next stop, and we just noticed that we're inside of a cloud. It feels cool. Also the streets are very bad.
Everyone's complaining about the roads here because they are terrible.
For the whole beginning of the trip we were only able to drive maybe 10 kilometers an hour.
Apart from the potholes, the road between Monteverde and La Fortuna is also kind of frustrating because when you look on maps, it doesn't really look that far apart. But you basically have to drive all the way around a giant lake.
Lake Arenal.
Yes, the lake is actually really beautiful, so it kind of makes up for it being very inconvenient.
In general, scenery during the whole ride was really nice.
I couldn't really concentrate on anything apart from not driving through all of the potholes.
And I was kind of getting sick.
So yeah, no, it's a fun times, you know. Oh, this past hour, the road has been beautiful. It's just very smooth, and then with the most incredible nature that you could wish for. That's probably one of the most beautiful roads we've been on. Now we are about to make a stop at a hanging bridge park. And on the way, we've now also got our first glimpse of the Arenal volcano. It looks cool.
Beautiful.
Very beautiful.
This park does feel a lot more Disneyland-ish than the nature reserve we visited the day before yesterday, but we knew that before. And it's still super beautiful. And we already saw a little hummingbird. That was cool.
Yeah.
Straight after entering the park.
So loud in here. It's pretty impressive. Sounds like you're on a building site somewhere. Did you spot something?
Nope.
You spotted a noise.
I think the cool birds are quite high up in the trees.
Yep, they're just chilling with the sloths, you know, having a tea party.
Would be cool to have some binoculars.
So if you've seen one of our previous videos where we visited one of Germany's longest suspension bridges, you'll know that I was slightly afraid of the height. But I believe it's all about mindset. And so today I'm just going to demonstrate the proper way to walk a suspension bridge without fear. Here we go. So how's the view?
It's really nice. I think you have higher chances of spotting wildlife here because you're so high up in the treetops. And the experience of walking over this bridge is very fun, especially for Simon.
I love it. I'm actually good.
No, but it looks really cool.
Yeah.
It's also a nice photo opportunity.
We've earned ourselves a nice little lunch.
Gone for the enchiladas. And also we each got a juice.
And my empanada looks delicious, and of course I love that they've got their own hot sauce that is basically, in my book, a 5 out of 5 or 10 out of 10.
Always win Simon over with the homemade hot sauce.
Yes.
Even though he hasn't even tried the food yet.
The food could be terrible, but you know, if the hot sauce is good, I'm in. This looks like a really cozy accommodation.
Also, that guy from reception told us that there's a trail here where you can see lots of animals, so we will check that out now. There's also a nice pool and jacuzzi. I think we have enough to do for the rest of the day.
Yep. Stable. This is a giant property. They recommended us to just walk around here and try and find some animals to look at. I think we'll be able to find the horses, but not so sure about sloths and other animals. That is a giant parrot. It's insane already. I mean, there's a sloth up here in the tree. Very close. Yes, very good job. And then we've got this incredible parrot on the other side. Okay, let's check out the parrot and then the sloth.
I mean, the sloth is asleep, so I don't think it's doing much up there.
But the parrot is active. So this is where the parrot lives, I guess. It's a massive one. 2 parrots.
Maybe they're telling us to go.
Yeah. Leave. On video, probably not that impressive.
That was crazy.
But so cool.
I hope we didn't disturb them in their homes.
No.
That's why they had to flee.
I don't think so. And then we've got the horses here. I mean, this is a small paradise in Costa Rica. We almost made it back before the rain started, but it's a nice and warm rain. It's actually pretty good. Pretty nice. Doesn't really matter if we're wet, because now we're gonna go into the pool. And it also doesn't matter if our shoes get wet, because tomorrow we'll go whitewater rafting in our shoes, and so they're gonna get wet anyway. I think it's gonna get quite wild.
Guess who's on the way to go rafting? These 2 idiots. Simon's been very excited all night. Couldn't get any sleep.
It's not.
Couldn't eat anything at breakfast.
Okay, that's not true.
We both haven't done any rafting before, so we're very unexperienced. And we've directly gone for level 3 and 4 instead of 2 and 3 because Simon said 2 and 3 will be boring.
The guy at the company told us that we would be better off in the other one.
Even though it's gonna be a bit wild. But the guy who sold us that tour yesterday was very funny. He said it's gonna be non-stop adrenaline.
That was the sales pitch.
That sold us. I'm not sure how it's gonna be for me because I'm rather anxious. More on the anxious side, I would say. But at the end, most of the time, I still have fun. So let's hope for the best. Can you see yourself?
Yep, tilt it up. Yeah, now.
Okay, that's good.
It's gonna get interesting. Maybe we're never gonna see this footage again if we lose the GoPro. Maybe.
He said if I fall in, I will definitely lose it, so I shouldn't fall in.
Yeah. When I say, get down. What position?
Zoe and Simon from the future here. We were just going through the footage and we thought it might be good to give you some explanation to what happened in this moment.
From the looks of it, I think we're drowning. Yeah, looks to me like drowning. That was a little bit of a sticky situation, but there are reasons for why we are in this situation.
Because we're stupid. One of the reasons being that we were all beginners in this raft,
Except for the guide.
Except for the guide, which is good. It was us two and then two girls in the back who also have never done whitewater rafting before. And also, while we were in the bus to the river, the guides explained to us that the river has more water than usual because it had rained a lot the days before. And also they said that even though this is not ideal for beginners, the first 10 minutes of the rapid are going to be the toughest ones and the fastest ones.
And we do have to say that our guide was a super cool guy, very knowledgeable. He had done this 1,000 times.
Yeah, so before we got into the boat, he explained all his instructions to us and what we'd have to do if he says things like pedal forwards, pedal backwards, get down, get to the other side.
So with all of that in mind, after 5 minutes of rafting, we were in this situation here. And we can take a look. We were pretty much stuck in this super powerful rapid. And for some reason, we didn't move forwards, we didn't move backwards. Instead, the rapid just basically tried to tip over the whole raft. And it was our job to not let that happen. And the guide was yelling at us to get on the other side, the side that was basically sticking out of the water, to stop the raft from tipping over. And then for some reason the whole raft turned around 180 degrees and just started tipping over again, and we had to get onto the other side. Luckily we had a photographer with us that was taking pictures the whole time, and I think...
didn't realize. I only realized at the very end that we were getting photographed.
Yeah, that explains why you're not smiling in any of these pictures. Because you are busy with breathing, I think. Surviving. And that's also where this legendary picture was taken, because we did almost fall out, and so we had to grab each other and try to pull each other in.
Because you have to imagine water is flooding your face the whole time. It's quite loud. You can't even really hear the guide because the water is so loud around you, and you're constantly afraid that the boat will just tip over. And I actually didn't know what was going to happen then, because there were lots of rocks around us, so I thought this wouldn't be great, and also we'd all be, I mean, this is not a big raft, we'd all be like falling into each other.
I mean, 2 people in our raft immediately lost their paddles as well.
Oh yeah, one of them being me.
Yes, which is...
I held on to it for a long time because I thought it would be a catastrophe if I lose it, but then the guy just got it for me a couple of minutes after we got out of that situation.
These pictures, I think, speak for themselves, and in the end what happened after a few minutes is that another support guy in a kayak had to throw our guide a rope and pull us out of this rapid because we just weren't managing to get out ourselves. That's also very hard if you don't have a paddle, but I think it was also just too strong.
I wonder how often that happens.
Yeah, it's I would also want to know. And then we continued on with the tour. It did stay very wild still. I think this situation prepared us mentally, It gave us like a wake-up call telling us, okay, we now really have to work together, be one with the water, be one with the rapids, and yeah, that's pretty much what we had to do. And we did have a lot of fun in total, and I think we also did feel like we were in good hands.
But I think the situation made me calmer for the rest of the rafting trip, because I was like, oh, this is not half as bad as it was.
And the rest of the trip was super nice. I mean, we had some incredible nature around us. It was warm, there were also
waterfall.
Exactly, a waterfall, some animals also that we could see, although we were mostly concentrated on not falling in and getting down the river.
What you have to keep in mind is that we also knew that if I would fall in, the GoPro would be gone. So I think that's why Simon saved me a lot of the times.
Yeah, that was pretty much the only reason.
I mean, 2 people did fall out during our trip.
Yeah, but not us, not the beginner raft.
And I think it's also a lot better to fall out at the end of one rapid, because then you don't have such a long way to go by yourself.
Definitely. And we also got to jump from a super high cliff. Almost like 10-20 meters.
It was higher than it looks in the video, I must say.
I know, in here it looks like...
It was 1 meter.
Yes. No, that was fun. And all in all, it was exhausting, but a very cool experience. I was giving everything I had
Me too.
Yeah,
by the
no,
way.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I felt like I had to really perform, and the guide was telling me repeatedly, again and again, please, I need more power. And I was saying, this is all the power I've got.
This is all I've got.
I don't have more power. We would do it again, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But this time only class 5.
Definitely not.
Okay. Well, back to Zoe and Simon in the video. I didn't believe it when we started, but somehow we finished.
Without even falling out.
Nobody fell in to the water. I mean, we did almost flip and die.
Right at the beginning. Probably saw that because...
We're gonna insert some pictures. And now we are enjoying some fruit, and this is the best tasting pineapple I've ever had.
It's really good.
It's so good.
And it's so nice to just relax for a minute because I feel like I've just run a marathon.
But we made it. And now we can eat some chocolate.
I'm looking forward to this chocolate tour.
You can always spot Zoe by the 2 bananas sticking out left and right from her backpack. Cheers.
Chocolate fermented 5 days. Please comment.
I think that's also really cool.
How's the hot chocolate?
Tastes really natural,
Yeah.
but good.
Yeah.
Like in a good way.
And this is very delicious.